Welcome to another episode of Brain Blast Battle. Today, we unravel the real story behind the acclaimed novel, Goat Days, a tale of survival, hope, and resilience. Najeeb Muhammad, the protagonist of Goat Days novel, was once a Saudi slave tasked with herding 700 goats for his employer, who monitored him closely to prevent any escape attempts. For more than 2 years, he endured isolation in the desert, suffering at the hands of his cruel employer without any human contact. With only one set of clothes, he began to identify more with the goats than with his own humanity. Najeeb's story, immortalized in Benyamin's 2008 novel, has resonated with readers worldwide, leading to translations in 8 languages and the release of the 130th edition. As a real-life inspiration, shares the experiences of Najeeb, a migrant worker from Kerala who went to Saudi Arabia in 1993. Najeeb, like many other Keralites with limited education, left his home in search of a job that promised a better life. Despite being informed that he would work as a salesman in a supermarket, the reality turned out to be far from the truth. Upon arrival at the airport, Najeeb embarked on a 2-day journey that felt endless, leading him to realize that he had fallen into a trap. It was an acquaintance from his village who had introduced him to the agent in Mumbai, who facilitated the visa process. Having paid 55,000 rupees for the visa by selling 5 cents of land, Najeeb regretted not having the land to sell for a much higher price. His journey took him through Mumbai and eventually to the desert. On the 2nd day of travel from the airport, I encountered no one except my Arab boss and his brother. I did not receive any rial as salary, he explains. The harsh reality of his situation brought Najeeb to tears every day during his 2-year stay, overwhelmed by fear, pain, and helplessness. His duties involved herding 700 goats for his employer, who closely monitored him through binoculars to prevent any escape attempts. While Najeeb slept outside, his employer resided in a small shed in the desert. He showed no regret, even as tears streamed down my face and he continued to beat me. I had no choice but to consume stale kubus. To make it edible, I would moisten it with goat's milk. The goats were never cleaned, so the milk carried the same foul odor. However, with no other food available, I had to endure the dry kubus with the milk, he recollects. While the Arab would bathe, Najeeb was forbidden to use any water for cleaning himself. He was left with only a long shift dress as his attire, never provided with anything else to change into. The smell was overpowering, but eventually, I grew accustomed to it. My hair grew long as I was not allowed to trim or shave it. There was nothing in the desert or the shed where I was kept, and I was never allowed to see the boss's possessions, he recounted. The Arab's older brother would occasionally come to take the goats to the market, and both treated Najeeb with the same disrespect. He recounts, I believed my existence would cease in that place, with no chance of escape. When I departed from home, my wife was in her 8th month of pregnancy, awaiting the arrival of our first child. I carried an immense burden of worry, unaware of the outcome of the delivery or the well-being of both mother and child, regardless of their gender. Throughout the entirety of my 2-year stay, I remained isolated, devoid of any meaningful conversation except with my superior. Initially, I struggled to comprehend a single word in Arabic, and my boss would physically punish me if I mistakenly captured a black goat instead of a white one. In 1995, during a night when his employer and brother were away attending the latter's daughter's wedding, Najeeb found himself alone. Anticipating this opportunity to flee, he swiftly made his escape, running without pause. He was filled with fear as he caught sight of his own reflection in a distant stream after 2 years. During his journey, he encountered another individual from Kerala in a separate goat-rearing region, enduring the same harsh living conditions. Najeeb recounts, it was only when he approached me and quietly expressed his desire to escape in Malayalam that I realized he was a fellow Malayali. His situation mirrored my own misery, but he was unable to flee due to his boss's watchful eye. I can only hope that he managed to escape at a later time. After running for 36 hours, a road came into view. I waited patiently for several hours, attempting to flag down a passing vehicle. Numerous vehicles zoomed past until one eventually pulled over. Behind the wheel was an Arab man who kindly offered me a ride to Riyadh. Upon reaching the capital city of Saudi Arabia, I located a Malayali restaurant where I received a warm meal and a fresh set of clothes. Fast forward 2 years, I was finally able to indulge in a bath, shave, and haircut. It felt like a new beginning, Najeeb fondly recalls. A few of Najeeb's family members resided in Riyadh. Upon establishing contact and meeting them, he willingly submitted himself to the legal system of the country. This was the sole recourse available for migrants like him who had misplaced important documents such as their passport and visa, and had fallen victim to unscrupulous agents. After enduring immense brutality and harsh conditions, Najeeb found solace in the confines of the jail where he was imprisoned for 9 days. Reflecting on his experience, he recalls, life inside the jail was surprisingly pleasant, with ample food, cleanliness, and the luxury of uninterrupted sleep. After a long wait, the much-anticipated day arrived and Najeeb finally returned home. It was a heartwarming reunion as he met his 2-year-old son, Safir, for the first time. Determined to provide for his family, Najeeb wasted no time and resumed his work as a daily wage laborer. 2 years later, a stroke of luck came his way when his brother-in-law granted him a free visa to Bahrain. As the sun sets on today's story, we are reminded of the enduring human spirit that shines even in the darkest of times. Najeeb's journey in Goat Days is a profound testament to the resilience that dwells within each of us. In the vastness of the desert and the solitude of the heart, hope finds a way to bloom. May this tale inspire you to hold on to hope, to seek the light even when the path is obscured. If Najeeb's story has touched your heart, please consider sharing this video. Your support helps us bring these powerful narratives to life, and together, we can spread the message of courage and perseverance. Thank you for being a part of the Brain Blast Battle community. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode of inspiration. Stay strong, stay inspired, and may your journey be ever upward. And see you next time. Bye.